Oh, it's good to be back. The greater Phoenix metaphor being personified in human history. Therefore, if I'm saying anything, it's welcome back to the Stark Expo. Oh, it's good to be back.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this. We just had a major movie event. It kind of we were prepared for, but it kind of snuck up at the same time. It wasn't like a lot of theory talk that needed to happen leading into Thor: Love and Thunder, right? It was a Thor movie, right? He's already had 3. He's been in every Avengers movie.
Facts.
Major part player in this. I mean, he's a even beyond. He was like, it's Thor. Like, what else you need to say, right? So it's like we've already had a bunch of stories going in. So meaning like different ways they did with the character. So it wasn't like we needed to be like, okay, oh, such and such might show up. What might happen? Once we knew that Jane was kind of going to be Mighty Thor, we knew a storyline. There was really nothing to debate about that or be like, what are they going to do? We can kind of just do your Googles and see where we were going. So it felt like to me like it kind of snuck up where versus like a Multiverse of Madness. It was like, shit.
Yeah,
man, Multiverse of Madness, everything goes. Like we can bring in, this is where X-Men can come in, and this is where they can do such and such from this. They can bring Hydra from this. I mean, it's just a lot of ways that could have went with Thor. And I don't think no Thor movie was really like that. Right. Even though all the Thors kind of played a big part ultimately into the Avenger movie that came that followed it. But leading into it don't ever seem like any of those were like ones that was like, we need to break this down before we go in. We just hoping that, we're going to see some action. We're going to see the brother Loki out of it. So this one didn't have that to me. But I'd like to start, honestly, obviously for anybody listening, this is a spoiler conversation. We getting into it. So if before we go into like any recap and if we're going to do that, let's just kind of like, let's start off like, what did you like? What hit for you and what missed, if you have anything, right? You may have all hits, you may have all misses, but what potentially a couple things that hit for you and a couple things that missed?
Hits. I would say the Christian Bale, man. Gore, man. Just Gore. I think we had we almost got one of the greatest Marvel MCU villains of all time. Apparently there was a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor.
Yeah,
they cut out. You could tell they chopped a bunch out of this movie to get it under that 2-hour window. But yeah, Christian Bale, bro, he don't miss. I don't care how much you give me a Christian Bale. It could be 3 hours. It could be 2 hours. Christian Bale is a maestro, bro. And he came in here in this one, man. He owned it, bro. And I don't think he was that faithful to the actual source material as people would have liked, as like the hardcores would have liked. But bro, Christian Bale owned he owned this performance. I didn't see Christian Bale. He became Gore, bro. Like he
wasn't Christian Bale.
He wasn't recognizable. I didn't see no Bruce Wayne in there. I didn't see no
he's a good actor, man.
He's a good actor, man. You know what I mean?
He's not him playing him. Sometimes people get to a point where they just like shout out to Tom Cruise and he gets
Tom Cruise in every movie.
Tom Cruise is playing him.
Yeah, he show up on Tom. He could be Tom Cruise. I mean,
he's just Tom Cruise playing.
And even Robert Downey Jr. to an extent. Like,
100%. Will Smith. Will Smith.
You know what I mean? They just those guys. Yeah, those guys. They great, but they're them. You know what I mean? So nah, Bale is a method actor. Christian Bale, bro, is a method actor, man, to the fullest. He came in, man. He owned it, bro. He was a great villain. From the beginning to the end, bro. From the moment that he was on the camera to the last moment he was on the camera, Christian Bale was the biggest.
I believed him.
I believed him, right? Yeah, he did it with conviction. I could have used more of him. I could have had a whole movie with Christian Bale, to be honest with you. So Christian Bale was a hit for me, man, and there's not really that many other hits for me, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Christian Bale was a hit, and that was my main hit. My misses had a lot of issues with the pacing. I had a lot of issues with the plot overall. I had a lot of issues with sort of the liberties they took with the source material, especially towards the end. I had a lot of issues with Thor. That's the scene at the end, bro. We gonna get to it, man. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Just sort of Thor having abilities I was not aware that he had.
This enchantment shit that he just
Yeah,
had.
what
Like,
is that, B?
when did we establish that he
What
can?
is
When
that?
did we establish that?
Because Odin had that, right?
Odin
But
had
Odin
that.
was like old as hell and like super powerful, and you got to like learn how to do that, right? Because that was the whole thing with Loki, right? Like Loki had to learn magic. Loki's not
He
even
was raised with
Asgardian.
that. He was
He's not
raised with
even
that.
from the Aesir, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
even Thor's not Asgardian. They come from I think it's the Aesir, what they call them.
Okay.
They like a different separate species. They just rule over the Asgardians. But with that said, he's not. You gotta like learn how to do that shit. You just can't just do it. Like you're not just born with it. When did Thor learn how to do that? Like I guess I know Loki did because he learned from his mom and all that.
Another thing too, he didn't come of age enough to even have that. So you established something that he can do. There were things in the Ragnarok movie that he was able to control the thunder. Things happened to where he had to come of age to be able to control that. He even had to get talk to his father, right? Like, what are you, the god of hammers, right? Like, they make memes about that, but ultimately he got to the point where he was able to like unearth that himself.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't established at any point in time. Like, even with the liberty they took with how Mjolnir came to Jane, but like you say, much worse later.
Yeah.
And that was that's one of my that was like the first time, and I'm gonna let you continue.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people have said this, and this is the first time I've said it. That I'm really comfortable with saying that. That was the first time that I saw for real the Disneyfication of the MCU.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's people could point to different moments and they were perfectly right. But like the MCU been the MCU and they've been having carte blanche. That felt like Disneyfication of the MCU. Like, how they got Star Wars and like we get into that and be like, it's not a Star Wars conversation.
Nah.
That was the first time I felt that happen.
They starting to lean into this shit.
Real happen, like where it really like, like even if they did things like, we're gonna have a lot of younger characters and that's a DC aspect to, a Disney aspect to it. I get that. Cool. But these are younger characters are already in the Marvel universe or comics or whatever. That scene, like, where did that come from? Because there's a worse part. Let me let you figure. I want to connect those, but I want to get into mine because I got two parts about that whole kind of situation. It was like there was a beginning part, and then when we got to that. But go ahead, my bad.
I'm gonna say this last thing before I let you get into your hits and misses, and then we'll do like a quick recap. This was the first time that I felt like we was bordering on the line of spoofing the MCU.
Yeah.
Right?
Making fun of them.
Yeah, now we making fun of this. They did it in a way, like even with Ragnarok, we've done it in a way where it's like it's funny, but it's like, all right, here's the serious parts. All right, we still telling the story here, but we just real goofy and loose with certain stuff. All right, I get it. Like the humor is like flying out. This felt like you weren't even like you kind of just not taking anything serious, and you spoofing a little bit here. And it felt this is the first time I felt like I was watching an MCU spoof.
Yeah.
Like, man, this shit is just God of dumplings? Like, God of dumplings?
Man,
when I saw that, I'm like,
yeah. Okay. That whole sequence, man. God damn.
Because when you know what I mean? Like when they did it in Ragnarok, it was like, there's something behind that. You know what I mean? It was like Norse mythology was like, the myth of Ragnarok was like, the basis of that. You can kind of follow it, like, all right, well, it's kind of, I mean, this movie goofy as hell, but they are kind of following the chain of events the way that the myth is, the mythology is laid out. So it's like, but with this, it's like, this was goofy as hell. Like this felt like it felt a lot like the Lego movie. So I felt like I was watching like this the Lego movie. Like this is goofy as hell. Like it felt like a spoof. Like they were just spoofing the MCU.
I feel like a bunch of friends made a movie. Like they was just all cool. And we gonna have fun. We gonna have fun. Whatever happened. We gonna have fun. Like we're not really here. We here to make a movie, but we really just here to have fun. And whatever comes out of it, we'll edit it up and make it happen. Right? As MCU. Yeah, it just felt like nothing was nothing. I don't think none of their process, there was no seriousness in their process. Like, we trying to like I don't want to say loosely use the term art, but they definitely wasn't trying to do that. They wasn't trying to put together a great film. They was just we having fun. It's probably the last time we all gonna do this.
Yeah,
let's just have some fun.
Let's go out with a bang.
Let's go have some fun. It was probably a lot of improv in that.
Yeah,
probably a lot of improv that they just ran with it and moved on. Because realistically, Christian Bale was in a different movie. He wasn't in the same movie everybody else was in.
You can even go back. You can even look at it and tell. Because Christian Bale's serious dude, man.
He cuts people out on the damn set.
He's infamous. He got memes all day off him, but it's like, Christian Bale, I bet you wasn't on set with them people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, them dudes was on set with each other, bro. Like, Natalie Portman, Hemsworth, old girl, they was on set together.
Yeah,
Christian Bale, like you said, Christian Bale was in a different movie.
He was in a different movie.
And he was sadly underused. You know what I mean? Underused,
especially as a dope villain.
He could have been one of the greatest, bro. If they had gave him a little bit more time. He didn't even butcher that many guys. That's the thing.
Oh man, you took one of my lines.
My bad, bro. But go ahead. Let me hear your hits and misses, though. Let me hear your hits and misses.
I'll get into the one of my hits, and I don't want to call it a hit. I'll call it a like. I like that they didn't super change that Jane had cancer, right? Okay. Like if they didn't make it, it was gonna have some kind of stake to it that she had the cancer, that it wasn't gonna be something they were gonna try to, they did. I don't think they did a great job with it, but the fact that they had that, so I was like, once she showed up and she was laying in the bed, I was like, okay, cool, okay, let's rock, right? Let's rock. It was already super silly off the top, but it was like, let's rock. I got a silly one that quietly Lady Sif was still kind of thick. Yeah. They must have got her that 1 week when she did the Loki. I'm like, damn, Lady Sif's still kind of thick. She must have just had that baby and did the 2 scenes she was in, because Sif was kind of thick.
Yeah.
I don't want to overhype it because it wasn't that hyped. I know people were saying it was hyped, but it was cool. But the thought of it, I like the mid-credit scene. Just the fact that we were introducing Hercules.
That was dope.
I like that. I like that, and that felt MCU-ish, because that was the only thing to me that felt like the MCU.
Yep. Facts.
Because they haven't done that in a while.
Nah.
I think when they did it in Eternals, that was the only thing I liked about Eternals, was that ending, because that felt like the MCU.
Mm-hmm. A bigger world, like a larger universe.
Yes, that was larger. That felt like
making you aware that this thing is big. Like it's still parts of this universe that are not even explored yet. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
And I connect that with the post credit, not from a fact that was my thing, but we do really got an overt, obvious look that we get in the Secret Wars. Mm-hmm. With her, because you got to have powerful being for what they need to get to. Yes. You're going to have powerful. We're getting into the powerful. Like they got some stuff happening, but Wanda gonna come back. You're gonna have to have a strong Doctor Strange. You're gonna have to have a Hercules. They said Thor coming back, right? Like Thor will return at some point in time. You have to have powerful people for what Secret Wars is really supposed to be. So just like that kind of trail that I don't think they're doing a really good job of what the material they've been putting out is like being cohesive. but there are the breadcrumbs. And it's gonna come to a point where it actually happens that people are gonna be like, oh, see, it was already there. Like, no, they didn't really do a good job, but what they're doing a proper job amidst of all the confusion they kind of have, because it's confusing as hell.
Yeah.
Right now, the phase 4 thing,
but
there are breadcrumbs leading to.
Actually, didn't think about that. Yeah, actually,
that between the mid credit and the post credit, because even having Valhalla, like that's gonna play a part. Like we got gods up there. Like this is where the gods come to think. You're gonna need some of them for Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Or even if they have a major thing before that with some of the people that they're bringing in, right? Whether it's Celestials, we didn't got the 10 Rings and Shang-Chi's realm. I've been watching this Ms. Marvel show, right? Like this other realm that the veil, right? The veil, right? It's a lot of parts, and then you got multiverse. Like you got these other parts. We get into that. There's something big, and you're gonna need powerful people. I mean, like not the characters that they're using, not Miss Marvel, but what they got in their back pocket, right? What that Shang-Chi realm may have, the dragon power they got over there, and what may be in the multiverse. What's in with these things with the incursions? Like, I think they letting us know what's happening. So just seeing that makes me not like the movie as much, but it's like, okay, we getting there, and it's gonna have to be powerful when we get there. But I got things that didn't hit for me, right? And you brought up one. Gore didn't really God Butch. Like, what was the literally the opening scene was super silly, right?
Yeah.
Like, so meaning like not the opening scene because he was laid out with his daughter.
His daughter.
But
it
was like
that was kind of dope.
Yeah,
like just the cinematography from a cinematography point of view, but then it got goofy with the.
But it go to my kind of thing. Like they didn't really have. Not that they had to get super into a backstory for Gore, but it's a reason he felt the way. It wasn't just that he walked to a guy and a guy made fun of him. So now I want to kill all the gods. Gore believed in his whole, well, not him, but his whole race believed in that shit. And he was the first one to kind of say something like, hey, man, we got to stop doing that. We not eating, we not drinking, we don't have anything. And we, and his community tried to push him out like, no, you gotta believe in the gods. And then that's, but they just showed him kind of sitting there, and then a god made fun of him. And it's like, okay, now I want to, I lost my daughter, but like, you making fun of me. Okay, I'm going to take you out. The Necrosword didn't have a black backstory. It was just laying there. So we get into the whole Darkhold thing again. It's almost like MCU was telling us for those kind of quick kind of things, like you say, cutting room floor shit. He's just telling us to do your Googles. Like, go Google that shit, man. Like, we don't got to figure it out. We know you're going to Google it anyway.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah.
Because it was just laying there. Like, Necrosword is a big deal.
Because they had killed somebody, right? Like, so it was celebrating.
Saying the previous guy, and they like, we are a previous type of butcher, so to speak, some negative. I forget which one they use. That's a good point. They actually, I think they dropped a name or something like that. But at the end of the day, it was just laying there.
It wasn't. Right. It wasn't. Null though. The symbiote. It wasn't
no, none of that. Yeah, we got that. So we took care of that, and all. It shows you, and then he knocked dude off. So it was like, okay, we're gonna do the Darkhold thing again, where it's like, if you're not in the loop, you just give a quick little one line about what the Necrosword meant. But we also seen Guardians of the Galaxy, and we know something happened that cut off the severed head of a Celestial. Like, they're gonna usually it's a bigger deal than what they kind of used it as. So that's
a big miss.
It was a constant. I think for the people who really gonna like this movie and be objective about it, it's good. The people who think it's funny.
Yeah.
Now, not the MCU fanboys, not all that. And I'm not trying to diss nobody, because there's been times where I've been the MCU fanboy, right? So I'm not trying to diss nobody. But if you think the movie was funny, then you probably thoroughly enjoyed it.
To me, it was in heaven.
Way too silly, man.
Way too silly and way
just
too
like,
repetitive with the jokes.
It just wasn't hitting for me. So I'm like, yo, I didn't think the first God was funny. I didn't think dude, that shit with the axe. Like the axe being Stormbreaker being.
Oh yeah.
Like, cut that shit out, man.
You talking about when it was just floating? Just
he looking at
he jealous. Yeah.
And it kept getting. It was like we gonna keep doing it. We gonna.
Yeah, it was funny like the first time. Like
now they on the boat.
Stormbreaker jealous, haha. You know, but then it was like literally you knew it was when it became predictable. It was like, oh, here comes Stormbreaker.
We gonna keep doing it. And it was just like a barrage of that stuff. Everything was just like everything was just like quit. Like they didn't kidnap the kids. He done force Ghost his way onto the boat, onto the ship they own.
Literally.
Thor telling jokes. Not even like jokes like to keep the kids okay. Hey, you're gonna die, but you're gonna end up in Valhalla. Like
stupid, bro.
Like, what are we talking about right now?
These are kids, man. They're not in battle. You're
gonna end up in Valhalla.
Yes. The way, kids.
Even though you just told Sif, like, nah, you gotta die a glorious death. Like, you're not making it.
You have to die in you have to die in battle.
So we didn't have that montage of Gore actually taking out the gods. We just had that one, like Nick Fury. Remember when the Iron Man and Avengers, he's like, Coulson gave him the little digital book, the little iPad or whatever, and then he pulled all the pictures up. He could see all the Avengers. That's basically us seeing. That's what they did, so we can see all the gods.
Literally, yes.
That was it. We didn't see no act. We didn't see Gore run up on nobody and take him out. Like, so where's our stakes in knowing that he's that much of a threat? Like this is Gore. Like he was doing a great. So let's go see him do some of that. Let's go see him
at least once.
They didn't even do it.
We didn't see it once.
We seen that first dude who was,
and we only saw one corpse. Really,
you only saw the one corpse, man.
It was the one, the big.
And why the hell was Lady Sif by herself?
Yeah. Come on, man.
Trying to battle, like defending this guy. Like, what was she doing? But so like you're saying, when you get to the part, like I'm connecting that with the kids, for him to go from the point where he was joking with them, not joking, he was like being goofy as hell, talking about you're gonna die, you'll be in Valhalla. To next thing you know, we see him next time. They roll up totally without, like they say, they didn't have what's the name? I thought they was gonna. I'm like, oh, they about to kill Lady Valkyrie off. They didn't. I thought that would have been dope. Like you're gonna have something that's having for real happen.
Exactly. Some stakes.
I'm like, oh shit, they about to
consequences.
Kill. Yeah, like something serious really about to happen. It's like I know he enchanting kids. Like when did Thor get that?
But he made the teddy bears weapons, man.
Man,
they toys as weapons.
Like, was I really watching that? Like I was mad. I'm really watching this little girl go with a teddy bear. I'm seeing them fighting. Like those ghosts couldn't. The dark ghosts that he was using couldn't do any. They was mopping Asgardians.
You brought up a good point. You actually mentioned something just now.
What'd I say?
Yeah, about the MCU was officially overused that. The Russian, the running into the crowd fight. Fam, how many times did they use that in this movie alone? Like you did that. It was cool in Endgame, man. Like you taking something that was iconic in Endgame, and now it's like in every movie now, and it's especially, I don't know, it's like in this movie, it's in there a lot. Like this whole. Well, at the end, we're gonna get there, but at that last scene with him and his, running into a big crowd. Yeah, you did it with Guardians of the Galaxy in the beginning of the movie, where y'all running into a big crowd. It's like, come on, man, y'all keep that was.
And these people have been in battle 1,000 times. And speaking of Endgame, and my last point I'm gonna make, because I could continue on, but this ending, they did it in kind of Multiverse of Madness, even though he was talking to America. But this Thor giving Gore a speech when he's in front of eternity, and that's how we stopping him. And he was going to see the light once he got to the point where you heard your speech, right? Mm-hmm. It was so it just didn't. I don't know. Like I say, man, that did not hit for me, because I'm like, okay, so now we're not even battling no more. We gotta appeal to everybody's humanity at the light. Like nothing in him had humanity. He was in front of eternity, and your best thing was going to show that how you cared about Jane was going to lead him to not do what he was going to do. Now we obviously know he's not going to do that, right? So I'm not mad that he didn't do it. but we use it in a way that Thor in no other parts of this movie did he had the ability to talk in a serious tone.
Thank you.
Nothing built up to him.
Never was
able
established.
To do that.
Right.
He get to that point. Like, and we using this thing with the speeches, and I use a point like with Endgame. They had, and in my mind, this made sense earlier. Might make sense now. We had a moment on what was the sanctuary, whatever what was I forget what Thanos' ship was. I forget what the ship was called. I don't know if it's called the sanctuary.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we had that part where Nebula showed up. Oh, we had old Nebula and new Nebula. They tried to give old Nebula a speech. New Nebula had to smoke her.
Yeah.
Cut this shit out, man. You got to get smoked. We're not going to talk you off the ledge. You're not going to go.
Not after you came this far, man. You don't butcher gods. Even though we ain't see him.
There was nothing that was going to talk him off the edge. He hadn't been set up to be talked off the edge.
Nah.
And we never have even the development to get him to that point. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Wanda got kind of talked up, but she had to see herself. But we had a whole 9-episode TV show to let us know that she had this kind of like, they built that up. So that her seeing herself could possibly happen there where she want to stop. Right? Could possibly happen. But this right here, it just didn't hit like, okay, we're gonna do this. That's what we're doing. We're doing the speech. Like, no, Gore was supposed to die. Thor had to take him out. Or he had to do something else, but not a speech. Not a speech like that, because Thor wasn't at that point where he was prepared to do that speech. He just enchanted kids to fight.
Yeah, Thor just
and they do a joke with that too. You have a temporary time to have talent to be able to fight. Like, you're Asgardians and shit. Like, you can do that. We're going to give you that skill right now. Damn, you
didn't do that at the end of Endgame, though, bro. You could have you telling me not only could you have gave Cap Mjolnir, you could have gave everybody your powers, essentially.
You went up there chasing for gods, like you didn't need gods. Like, why would you go?
You could just chant Asgardians, right? You had
a reason to get Zeus, and we want to show that silly shit that happened. Like, just to have that scene in there, like if you can enchant people. You had a whole village of Asgardians you could have enchanted.
Who were willing to fight. It's their kids. They would have gladly went into battle and died. It was their kids. You had men and women that was willing to fight.
Yeah, it was just
you didn't enchant them. You put the kids that you were supposed to rescue in danger up against necro monsters.
Yeah, they didn't develop Thor enough through the movie to get him to that point to do that. Just from a comic nerd standpoint.
No.
Just like from a, we want to be from a gatekeeper standpoint, because there's a gatekeeper element to all this. From a gatekeeper standpoint, Thor wasn't developed enough to enchant anyone. Right? No. He wasn't developed.
Not even in the sense of the entire trilogy of movies.
Yeah, absolutely. And
the previous trilogy of movies.
And in Avenger movies.
And in Avenger movies.
He wasn't developed enough to do that.
Thor's not a speech guy. He's not the speech guy. He's not the Tony. Cap can be the speech.
Cap could have did that shit.
Cap could talk you off a ledge. Tony can even talk you off a ledge.
Natasha could talk you off a ledge.
Natasha definitely could talk you off a ledge. Man, Thor can't talk you off a ledge.
Thor can't talk you off a ledge.
Thor liable to either say something stupid or just grab you off the ledge. Like, he's not going, like.
And Thor's always been willing to risk his life.
Yes.
To save the day. Like, he almost died in every one of the movies.
Infinity War.
He's ready to die. Infinity War. He was ready to die in Ultron.
He wanted to do the snap. Yeah, he was ready to die.
He was ready to die in damn Endgame right there. He was ready to do the snap. He was ready to die in everything. And he had none of that. And then none of that equaled what he became at the end. Last thing I'm going to say, because I know we want to talk about the end, and we can get to that. We get to that next. Last thing I want to say, I also didn't like the memberberry thing they did, the fan service bullshit they did at the beginning. You gonna give me Selvig and fucking Marcy for like a half a second?
Yeah, get that shit out of here.
Get that shit out of there, man.
That shit out of there, man.
Selvig been in
I ain't need that.
Word to God. Selvig been in everything they did in the Phase 4.
Facts.
Selvig been in They talked about him in No Way Home. It was something else. One of these other shows, Selvig got dropped. Selvig name got dropped in this damn Miss Marvel show because he got a book that one of her little homies is trying to like Selvig the dude.
Mm-hmm.
A Thor movie come up and Selvig got 20 seconds. No, don't do it at all.
You FaceTimed him? Like the fuck?
No, Marcy was in WandaVision, right?
Yeah.
She said she was there. If you're gonna have her.
Yeah.
She part of the thing.
Yeah.
Or don't. I'm not saying I was looking for them. Don't get me wrong. But they part of the pantheon if you're going to have a Thor movie.
You just had one where they wasn't in it. So it's like, well, damn. You know what I mean? This will be the movie. Now you back on Earth. This the time to bring them back into the fold. Like, we understand Thor was off planet in Ragnarok. Now you're back on Earth. Not necessarily Thor, but Jane Foster. You focusing on her character. You got to have Selvig and...
If Marcy now... astrophysicist herself, why wouldn't she go to New Asgard with Jane? Because they like, you know what I'm saying? That's like her. She like, well, it just so, or don't have her. I'm not saying she needed to be a movie. How
about just don't have her?
I just didn't like
the
fact that you sprinkled that in. It didn't need. It was so misplaced. You got to FaceTiming.
Yeah, because now it's like the suspension of belief now has to increase. It's like, oh, wait a minute, like you said, why wouldn't she go on a trip with her? She's done everything else with her up to this point. She got cancer. You just gonna let a cancer patient? And it was her suggestion. Well, you could do the Thor thing, whatever she said.
Get your little rocks off at the, get your little rocks off before it's over. Get them to clap. That's basically what she was saying. Get them clap one last time.
Yeah, but
and they spent time on different, like, there's several things they could have. It didn't, like, Valkyrie was a waste. Right.
Big waste.
So no. Did she have a story or did she not have a story? You get what I'm saying?
Like, so
arc. So if she don't have that, if you don't have that in this, then you got more gore time. Right.
Yeah.
Some of the whatever other silly things that could have happened. There's gore. There's time for gore. To do whatever. Right. To do whatever, or just a better priest, because he was the best, he was the best part of the movie. Or if you're not gonna have an arc for Valkyrie, then have one for Thor. But somebody gotta have something in this, because you're gonna make him a daddy at the end. At what point did he could prove that he was a father?
The time that we could have got that, it was that whole little scene where they was on the boat and Valkyrie just on there having a conversation with damn, what's the Rock dude name?
Thor. He got too much screen time.
Too much. They having this conversation about how they make babies. Died. Yeah, he should have died. How they make babies. And that was your time to give Valkyrie some type, because she was kind of poking around.
Yeah,
well, I mean, I've had, what is your arc? Like, okay,
they already told that story in the previous movie.
Because it was almost misleading. I feel like in the trailer with her, like, you felt like, okay, obviously you can see like she kind of bored being king of Asgard. Okay, so what is her arc? Is her arc that she's looking for somebody to be with? She lonely. Is she just not? She just want to be back in battle. We really never got a clear answer to that. She jumped. She was quick to jump and leave Asgard. Oh no, I want to go back to battle. This is
bro.
Okay,
they probably had a scene for her.
They did.
And they saw, and then that shit happened with where they was like with Doctor Strange, and how China and India and all them reacted to the two mamas.
Yeah,
and we know Valkyrie really had action.
Yeah,
like, we know she lesbian, right? We know what she is. And it was like, nah, wait, this ain't the time to have that in there. It's gonna be in some scenes when it drops on Disney Plus. Hey man, last thing I'm gonna say. No, go ahead. No, just because I got overall arcing thing, but that's kind of where I'm at, man. Like. It was. I found myself not wanting to hate, because I'm like, right now I feel like I'm hating, right? Like, am I hating? But I was just like, yo, this is way too silly for me. And then
I'll be honest, I'm gonna keep going, man. Look, I want to do a recap, but I feel like if you're watching this, you kind of already know what happened in the movie by now. By the time we drop this, you'll know what happened, man. Listen,
and I like to do a later episode of like what it means, kind of deal, like
exactly. What it means to the I want to get into what it means to the overall.
And like you said, you synced the movie if you
you synced it. But man, I even go further, man. What the fuck was the Guardians of the Galaxy doing in the movie?
What was the hell point of that?
Can you explain that? Like, cause maybe I missed it. But what the hell was the Guardians of the Galaxy? What I'm assuming, and this is just me assuming. I'm guessing this is gonna lead up to because they're supposed to have the Christmas special, right?
Yeah, the Christmas special, and then obviously
this is gonna be the Christmas special, and you're going to fill in those blanks because I'm assuming Thor will return. Okay, I'm thinking he's gonna come back on Disney Plus when y'all do this Christmas special, and Thor is gonna be because they talk about all these adventures they had and all this stuff, and I'm like, well, for what? Why did he? Was it just so he can get that speech at the end by
feel shitty
by Peter? Like, hey, feel shitty. You need to feel shitty about somebody. By the way, for all intents and purposes, Peter, like the Guardians of the Galaxy did a good job. Like they I would have rather got that just a Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor movie than what we got. To be honest with you,
they should have made an As Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
As Guardians of the Galaxy, man. Like I would have rather got that where they chasing after Gore and sort of make that like a Guardians of the Galaxy 3.5, whatever situation, like 2.5, whatever. Fine, but no, we didn't get that. We just kind of got this extended cameo from the Guardians of the Galaxy in the beginning, and it's like you get to the end of it, and it's like, okay, what purpose did that serve? Like, I guess it was just so that Peter can give Thor this line about you need to feel shitty about somebody. But
bruh, go ahead, my bad.
No, my bad. But just to go back,
you making me think about that. And how trash did they make the Guardians looking scrap? Like the Guardians took down a god before. The Guardians, they took down Ronan, man.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me they couldn't handle those little? They needed Thor to do that shit.
Yeah.
What I ain't even think of that. Like, man, the Guardians will take them out.
Guardians ain't really need Thor, bro.
They
like
it was. Thor. And they had
Nebula. Never needed Thor.
Nebula was husky. I'm telling you, the core team wasn't the best thing for everybody, man. Because Nebula was a little husky. Batista was husky. Like they wasn't in movie shape. Hey man, Nebula was husky. She was like, chinned up the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, man.
Facts. Nebula, I ain't saying she my
right about that. Like, No, you called that. They was not in shape.
They was not in shape, man.
I don't know if that was a reshoot. Like y'all just added that at the last minute because you had to cut out all the other stuff that was in this movie.
I just saw an interview with Christian Bale, and he was like, because of the pandemic, we had to. And I ain't trying to take shot being silly because I like the term husky.
Yeah.
But one of the things that he said he had to do, he said he had just finished a movie, and he was like, "Yo, I'm not going to be able to be in shape." I just like 3 days later, he was starting to. He ended a movie that didn't require him not to have. He wasn't supposed to be muscular, right? And he was like, I'm not going to be able to look like my guy. I don't have enough time to get ready. I got 3 days before I got to start shooting. He was like, because of the pandemic, everything got so condensed. Everything got so condensed that you had to go from one thing to the next. He said, I would never do a movie where I finished it, and then 3 days later, I'm starting on the next part of it, right?
Wow.
He's like, there wasn't no time. So like, I'm telling jokes, but like, I don't know if Batista and what's her name, Gilligan,
bro,
Gillian, that they might have just finished something that needed them to look like this.
Batista he didn't have a 6-pack, bro.
He ain't had no pack, man.
He had a pack.
Then he let him talk. He was stuffed.
Bro.
Like he just got finished eating. Like
he's sitting there like, you got to try to do this move. Like
hey, Batista was
he up against the shit. Like
Batista looked like they just finished lunch and they said action. It's like we just had pizza over here, man. I just knocked off 8 slices, man. Like dog, like can I digest this real quick? Action. Hey man,
he was clearly bloated, man.
Yeah,
like,
he was.
It wasn't even yeah.
Like we don't know. He might have been paying like a father in a movie that's gonna come out or already came out. Because what's the name? It just said that he's like I couldn't get muscular for the role of like he probably would have had he had opportunity to get ready. He would have Bale take that shit serious, right? They got memes of him in like different ways. Sometimes he husky, fat as hell.
Yep.
He played the vice president.
Yeah.
Then
he's
Batman.
done
He's
extreme
American
body
Psycho. Like
transformations. Yeah.
He said I would have been right, but I couldn't do it in the time. And Taika was like, "Nah, it's cool. Nah, we just doing like this." So we don't like it. Yeah, I don't understand. Like you gonna have Guardians of the Galaxy, man. Have Guardians of the fucking Galaxy.
Yeah.
Or
you got to do it, man, because it was just a cameo, bro. And I'm just like, I mean, again, I felt like it felt like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like,
they
it
did their
like,
part.
Yeah, like they lines were straight. And I think they always say like James Gunn's he write the lines for the Guardians, whatever. But yeah, like hey, make sure they say, but yeah, man, they was clearly not in shape, man. But they didn't serve no purpose. And just going back to, I just wanted to get back to what you said about how nothing really sets him up for that last speech. That don't set him up for the speech that I want to feel shitty about someone. That didn't set him up for the speech that he gave to Gore, who had won by this point. Even though he destroyed it, he was dying because they destroyed the sword. Hey, man, he could have made his wish. He reached eternity.
Yeah.
You talked him into changing his wish off of.
When did he feel good about gods? Nothing he got to see on the other side, right?
Yeah.
Was like, okay, cool. I feel good about the god. Okay, I don't want to stop the gods, except for the fact that now we got the MCU's for real live embodiment of eternity, because his daughter gonna have that, right? And they're gonna need that in Secret Wars at some point in time. She's gonna be 5 years old taking out Kang or somebody.
That's wild, bro.
But yeah,
that was
at one point in time, I want us to get into like a whole phase 4 setting up kind of thing, because like, and I'm trying to think of other movies where they might have had. I think the only ever thing they did like that was like an independent movie where they added people was it Civil War? But yeah, I know they had obviously they did Robert Downey, like Iron Man was in Spider-Man, the first one. He was in there, Helen and Nick Fury. But like, have they had any other thing like other than an Avengers movie where like another franchise character?
That's a good question.
Played in it other than Civil War, which is basically an Avengers movie.
Falcon was in Ant-Man.
A little taste. He was
a franchise, like you saying like a big
like Guardians got their own thing. They got 2 movies, right? They ultimately played a big part in Infinity War. Like, it was a big deal. Big deal.
Yeah, man, that's a good question, man. I'm gonna say, I can't really think of none off the.
Because they definitely didn't do that right.
Nah,
they didn't do that right. Yeah, you see something like that felt like a post-credit opportunity, not a like Guardians of the Galaxy are coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, showed up.
Yeah. Because it didn't like.
They went to go take out some gods. Like, what happened to them?
Right.
Run up on Gore. Why didn't they show up? Why didn't they show up on the dark dimension planet? Dark shadow planet.
I gotta build an army.
You had the Guardians.
You just had the Guardians of the Galaxy, man. Go back and get them. I'm pretty sure you kept some way to communicate with them. Call them back.
They was going to do some of your work. We're gonna find out why all these gods are dropping. That's what they went to go do. But
yeah. So yeah, but it also didn't really lend to like where they're at right now, right? Like, I don't think Gamora is mentioned like once. I mean, I guess she is kind of mentioned because he like found love or whatever, found my family. But
they didn't drop no Easter eggs. Like,
where's the Easter egg?
They didn't have a sneaky little screen when all those shits came up.
Right, we got a lead on Gamora. She's been spotted, and you can get that. So I was like, I don't know, man. It just felt like things were just happening on screen. Like, y'all just kind of, I don't know, man. A lot of this shit is like bait and switch. Because that trailer, boy, you look back on the trailers now for Love and Thunder. You remember we talked about this. We talk about this all the time. They change stuff in the trailer. Hey, this movie, leads. This movie leads all MCU films in that category now.
Pause.
You want to talk about trailer shit that didn't happen in a movie?
I don't even remember, and I'm saying pause when I do this. I don't even remember when Valkyrie licked that sword, B. That knife.
That's what I'm saying, right?
They showed that shit. Like, she licked the knife, like, oh, damn, Valkyrie doing some things. She ain't even, I miss it. She might have did it.
I ain't see it, B.
I ain't synced it.
She also had a line in the trailer like, "This is the best day of my life." I ain't hear that in the movie. Did you hear that?
I ain't hear none of that shit.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that to me, that was like telling me something. That was signaling something like, oh, she's about to die.
Yeah.
Which would have made sense. I mean, because she kind of like she's about to die.
Yeah.
But she didn't. But it's like, yeah.
Hell, I thought it was dope when Korg was about to die. Oh no, we just gonna have his face and we can wear him as a face mask on the back. Like,
that was, oh my God. She tied him up with her hair. They had a dumpling god, man.
Yeah, that was super. So like, I none of that. I'll be honest with you, man. I watched some stuff and they was trying to tell me like, oh man, my theater wasn't laughing. There was a couple people laughing.
I was gonna ask you that. Yeah, my theater wasn't really laughing, bro.
Hey man, and my theater wasn't like
not like Ragnarok.
I've been in MCU movies. Well, that shit lit. Pardon my French. Where it's like an event, like No Way Home.
Yeah,
was an event.
That was an event.
Endgame event.
That was rocking. Like
Black Panther. Oh my God.
Event. What was the other one? Civil War. Event.
As much as I shit on Civil War,
right?
I do, man. I do.
Right.
But I will never forget that. Like, I shit on it retroactively.
Yeah.
Like, man, like, I can't believe it's like damn, I love that thing when it was out, but like I guess when it started streaming and I started watching it later, I'm like, damn, I don't like it as much as I did.
No, I call it the most overrated of the MCU movies.
But I've seen it in the theaters like 3 times, and I kept one. Like the trailer did it.
I thought I had the greatest trailer ever.
The trailer was unbelievable, and every time I seen it like 2, I seen it at least 2, and I think 3 times in the theaters, and I was like, God damn. It was an event, and every time it was a nice little environment. Man, I wouldn't have seen it. It's a great movie. It was packed. Theater was popped. I saw it in IMAX. Had a good seat. Hey man, it was almost radio silent a lot, man. It wasn't like it was a couple of people where like it was their style of jokes, but it was like at some point in time, it was like, hey man, enough with this shit. Man. Like the first 45 minutes, man.
Yeah. Screaming goats.
Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm sorry. I was trying my best, man, not to be like the negative Nancy.
Oh man,
I mean, I'm screaming goats, man. Like
it's like, come on, man. First time it was like,
we seen Celestials, man. Like they flying, like that's it. That's all we gonna do.
Nothing, no context, no nothing. They just move out of the way. These Celestials in there, man. The Celestials are not just big dumb giants. Like this is a Celestial. And then I'm gonna tell you right now, that scene right there is the worst in the movie. When they went to the first of all, Omnipotent City.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that shit is in the comics. I don't know. It probably
I ain't never heard of them shit.
Probably it's never heard of it, but it probably is. It's a stupid name, whatever. But that scene, bro, just took me out because it was like you got Korg's his god is there. He's sitting on a throne of scissors, rock, paper, so
Didn't even do nothing in my theater.
Theater just like
look at that shit like really. All right, cool.
Dumpling god. Nobody laughed.
That should have been on the cutting room floor, bro.
The god of dumplings, man.
That should have been on the cutting room floor, man. I read that they paid the actress from Game of Thrones $7 million to be in the movie. And they cut her scene, but you get the dumpling god in there. The moms.
You kept the damn. You had Lena Headey in there. By the way, just one of my favorite actresses. Period. Right. Everything she in. I love it. You cut her out, man. You just pointed that out. Damn, cut her out and put the dumpling god in there. You got her being sued right now because she got her part cut. They suing her right now, like the actor, the union or whatever. You kept dumpling god in there though.
Hold on, what they doing? What happened?
she getting sued for that because I guess it's like she's supposed to pay like union dues to be in the movie, whatever, and she never paid them. So they suing her now for that. So it's like, what is the god of dumplings? What does that mean to the MCU? What does that mean to what is a god? What is the god of dumplings, man?
They said what's the name? It was in there. Sakar. Not Sakar, but that's my guy. The Grandmaster.
He was in there?
My guy. He needs the axe.
I ain't even seen it.
What was the guy? You know my guy. He wasn't in it. They cut him. He needs the axe. My guy, the where he went and got Stormbreaker from. My guy that was like, you were supposed to protect us.
He was in there.
Yeah,
the dwarf. Him
too. Yeah.
Oh man,
Eitri, right? Eitri.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
come on, bro. Seriously?
Yeah.
This movie needs a director's cut. It seems like the MCU don't really do director's cuts. I can't name one off the like. Is there? I've never seen a director's cut of an MCU movie, but this movie needs it.
Yeah, they haven't had released the what's the name? What was the last one we said they need to do? Release the Raimi cut for Multiverse of Madness. Like
release the Raimi cut. Yeah.
And this one of the things, brother. I think they're doing. Like, I think this is going to play. It's going to be another thing. It's still there's some bad things happen. It's going to play well on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
the last two movies we saw. It's just my opinion. They're almost like finales of a TV show. Right.
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness was really the WandaVision finale.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
right. It was a WandaVision finale with an ad for the next for real Doctor Strange movie. Next one is gonna be a Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah, that's Doctor Strange.
That's proper Doctor Strange movie that we're gonna see.
Him on his own. It's his movie, his story. That's a continuation of his arc.
That's
not Wanda's, not
Doctor
the end
Strange.
of Wanda.
This was a Wanda. This was like an extended TV episode. That Multiverse Madness. Somewhere in this, this plays in that too. This is like I don't know how to really explain it because it's really not linked to anything that was on Disney Plus. But it don't feel like a movie that it won't feel like it was intended to be in the movies. It feel like in the movie theater. It feel like it was intended to be really on Disney Plus, especially how silly it is. It's really intended to be on Disney Plus, right? They were just making that like I say, they were really just making it. They probably was in a position, bro. I hate to give people too much credit because I don't think this really deserves credit. But when they were making this, they probably were thinking they were going to. If it wasn't for Scarlett Johansson making such a big deal that she made, that this probably was going to come out on Disney Plus anyway. That it wasn't going to be a movie that they were going to put in theaters. This was going to be a movie.
You think so?
They probably were going to drop this on Disney Plus. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying like
that's interesting
because it seems like it's going to play good on Disney Plus.
No, it really
it's going to be made for people that just want to see something, throw it on, have a couple laughs.
This is going to be highly rewatchable. I think
not take it serious because they're telling you don't take this serious.
Yep. Yeah.
They telling you not to take this serious.
It's not heavy, man. It's not heavy.
And like that, Jane got cancer. These kids that got kidnapped and nothing like Ragnarok didn't have enough of the like these kind of elements that could have potentially made it serious, but it had serious moments. Father died.
Yeah,
he lost. There are different. It was just different things that happened where they kind of balanced it. It was silly. Don't get me wrong. It was silly, but they balanced it. They balanced it. Hell, they lost Asgard. Thanos show up at the end, right? Like, there's still a brother element to it, right? Like they had to resolve some issues, right? Hell, he went in Infinity War, so it was just like what that shit happened in Infinity War. With this, it was nothing heavy about it. There was nothing. Nothing was taken serious. Like to your point, on purpose. We're spoofing. Do not take us serious because we're not.
Yeah, don't think about this too hard because the whole way that she got she got to Mjolnir and she got the Thor. So that's the thing. Since when? So okay. the idea of becoming a Thor. Okay, do that also mean that you just become a meathead? Like, cause it's like Jane just was like goofy with it, bro. Like, I'm thinking about my she like walking
catchphrase.
Thinking about my catchphrase, you know, I'm thinking like eat the hammer or take my hammer. You know? I mean, or it's hammer time. You know what I mean? Like
hammer time. Like they should have an MC Hammer cameo.
They should have that. Like
should have had him doing this typewriter shit.
So it's like,
bro, I've always said this. I think we said this. I said this before, and I mean to cut you.
Nah,
I said this before in one of the previous talks we had about Natalie in this, and one of the things that, like, you know, she's Jane Foster. Like they made her like an expert on space-time continuum and Einstein-Rosen bridge. And every time she's in one of these movies, she's either like a hopeless romantic crybaby, or she becomes a freaking meathead.
Right? We talking about that. Yeah,
like though she got books and shit. Like, you know, like they reading a book in the beginning. She was an asshole with the book. Like, oh,
towards the book.
Like James Smarter.
You understand time travel,
like
whatever she said.
Like she could have been like not you know, like Selvig level with Gene. Like they revere Selvig.
Yeah,
Selvig got all these books. Like Jane was there too, right? Yeah. I think it's only one time Selvig appeared that Jane wasn't there, and that was in the Age of Ultron. But Selvig teaching they teaching Selvig stuff in classes and shit, right? And so I'm not saying Selvig might hell and be way smarter than her, but I'm just saying how her character has always been either like why, right? Or like you say, she become Thor and she's a super me. She's not even Thor level like he was in Dark World.
She's just a meathead, bro. Like out of nowhere. Like I'm just like her motivation. Like she was
a meathead.
She's just like, yeah, this is my first bad guy, you know. So I'm just gonna come down with the hammer, like.
It's also another thing, dog. Like, come on. This is another thing, and we got to do the traditional MCU thing. Does anybody know she was Thor? Like,
yeah,
you know, Earth, right? Like,
right.
Tessa, no, not Tessa, but Valkyrie, no. Like, yeah. So when she summoned, like, nothing that we got to.
Where's Doctor Strange at, man? Like, what?
He just showed up and she
gotta address that, bro. Like, that's like, wait a minute, what happened to Thor?
Dude, I watched what's the name of it the other night again? I hadn't watched it. I watched because I feel like it's gonna mean something. So let me get a refresher. The movie, the first one, the first Phase 4 movie it was the second. The one with Selma Hayek.
Oh, the Eternals. Yeah, I
watched Eternals again. Yeah. I watched that again because I'm like, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, 100%. But I'm like, it's gonna come into play. Let me go ahead and let me get my affairs in order real quick. Yeah, because it's gonna come into play, right? Yeah. I don't want to lose. Let me just see, like, does it play better at the crib? That was one of the because of Multiverse of Madness. So let me see if it played better at the crib. But I'm like, yo, what the fuck was Doctor Strange, man? Like, dude, that's really not only is the damn Tiamat coming out the Indian Ocean, he's in the atmosphere.
Yeah,
like he was in the clouds and shit, right? With his hands. Yeah. So like, damn, we got a Thor. She just running like Wong don't do nothing. Like Wong, you the Sorcerer Supreme for Doctor Strange. Yeah, but what is Wong? Like we know we got a Thor now.
Yeah,
she did. Was that the first time she showed up?
Yeah. Yeah, right. Like,
or has she showed up in another situation? I don't want to make a big deal about it. You got to do it. Like, damn, we gonna have.
I said that in the theater to wifey. Like, where's the Avengers at? Once again, like I know we always do this, but it's like, yo, man,
that's what is Sam doing? Because he's Sam now. Like Sam,
nobody questioning why Thor is not Thor. Like, what happened to Thor? Like, why are you Thor now? Like, did Thor die finally? Like, first of all, Thor disappeared and was out of shape and depressed, and then Jane pop up a story. Nobody questioned that. That was weird. Yeah.
Well, the first Thor, Shield had a whole setup when they can see when the temporal space energy changed. Right, wow. They had the thing set up. They could see like, oh damn, basically they could see when the what do they call that? Not the when they called Heimdall. What do they call that?
The Bifrost.
The Bifrost opened.
Yeah,
they could see that. Right. Hell, Jane was tracking it. Like, Now we had a Thanos level threat show up. Thanos showed, not Thanos level. Thanos showed up.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have anything we paying attention to now, right? So when that opened, because they went in and out, bro. They went in and out in this movie.
Where's Thor?
Valkyrie could do it with the horse.
Right.
Thor could do it with Stormbreaker. They just moving in and out. Nobody like, hey man, what the hell's going on over here, bro?
Yeah, why y'all just touching down on Earth, and without checking in,
Yeah, we just doing what we got going on. But yeah, man. But I think you do that with any MCU movie. So you almost got to say that anytime when it's a non-Avengers level movie, we like, hold on, nothing. Is Nick Fury paying attention to this shit? Like, what's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, I went in. I don't even know what to say. It's not even a point where I'm like, I didn't have any expectation. It's not like Multiverse of Madness. We was like, when we broke down, I watched our old clip and I'm like, yo, we was really breaking down when they showed that trailer when him and America went through those different
we was breaking that down.
Like, damn, that looked like Kree. That shit was fun, man. It didn't happen, but it was like, man, that's just like that might be like a Kree world.
Mm-hmm.
Look like they done. Is that the quantum realm that what's the name it went through? Like, what the heck? Like,
facts.
Damn, they got a cart. Man, that's a cart. Hey, man, they gonna have what if in here because that's a cartoon universe, B. Like, look at that. Like,
that almost happened. That part almost happened.
Yeah, so
it was a cartoon universe.
It was a cartoon universe.
Just wasn't. They didn't go to that. They didn't go there and stay there. They passed through there. But yeah, go ahead. My bad.
But like for me, so I didn't have that level of kind of like anticipation going in. Like it's a Thor movie because nothing that didn't happen that usually happens in a Thor movie, whether some people didn't like Dark World or they didn't like the first one. There's always a lot of freaking action. This didn't have it. Not to me. Like maybe I'm wrong. You could correct me wrong and you saw it, but I'm like, there was a lot of shit happening, but there wasn't a lot of action.
Oh no, it was the fight scene in Asgard where they took the kids.
Yeah.
Because the Guardian shit really don't count because they kind of just
Thor was just there to do. He was doing splits.
That ain't
like that was wit act. That was a comedy scene.
There was no build up to that. That was just a comedy scene, exactly like you said. That was nowhere near the Serta fight he had in Ragnarok where he fought Serta and he had to outrun the dragon and all that shit. Like that was like a real.
I was just watching that before the call.
That was a real scene. Like oh damn, like that was a nice scene. I mean, but.
You said,
this was like, yeah, you're right, man. I'm telling you, and let's go back to shit got left on the cutting room floor. Like they probably cut out some scenes, man, but you're right. It wasn't a lot of action happening here.
Gore didn't God Butch.
He didn't God Butch.
When they went to, they had more action in the trailers from Omnipotent City, Omni City, than that actually happened in the movie. Damn. They just wanted to show what's the name of ass cheeks. Pause. Like it wasn't a lot of act. You know, get what I'm saying? It wasn't like they was like they had to fight their way out of it.
Yeah, and
they had a little scrap, but it wasn't. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't like a threatening, like oh shit, they about to god. Like none of the gods got into it. Like
everybody just watched like
a whole arena of gods, and they were just sitting there, and they fought a couple stick figure men, and they cut them, and they turned into like gold or some shit. And
you know what they did have though? They had Zeus throwing around fucking lightning bolt, like catching it behind his back, like it was a baton, and like he was in high school. He was on a baton team, throwing the catching it over here. And
the skirt.
He got on the little tutu, whatever the hell he was wearing. He got this goofy, over the top Greek accent.
Yeah, because I'm like, was it mixed with a little Italian or something? Like, what are we doing here? Because it was hella. It was thick. Over the top.
What are you doing? It's like
trying to be like Giannis. Hey man,
camera. Yeah, I'm like,
I see you wiggled a little bit.
Yeah, man. I'm like, man. So it's just the over the top again. Time that could have been spent on, like you say, character development, developing Thor. Maybe explaining the relationship between him and Jane a little bit better. Nah, man, we just got more comedy, bro. We just got more comedic moments, like that really wasn't that great. Like, it wasn't strong enough for you to be like, man, that was, hey, man, I know I ain't really learned a lot, but man, that shit was hilarious. No, I never got that.
I want to go back to the Jane thing. One MCU movie that I always laugh a lot, man. Like I told you, a lot of that shit is not for me. Well, I like to think I laugh at a lot of things, man. Like I'm not the guy who, like, it got to be, Def Comedy Jam because I watch Seinfeld, right? Like I watch a lot of different kind of stuff, right? So Guardians of the Galaxy 2 always makes me laugh. That makes me laugh, man. Like the first one, dude, but that second one, especially like Drax, man. Like I be dying, man. Like I be dying. Like
when he said those are Harbillary batteries. My bad. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you, but go ahead. And you lack batteries.
It's pronounced Harbillary. No, it's not. Hey man,
nothing
when
like
they laughed at him when girl could read his thoughts and like he's in love with her and they just started laughing at him, man. Like I be dying, man.
Yeah, but go ahead. My bad.
Like it makes me laugh. Like so, I'm not like, oh no, that shit. Nah, that shit is funny, man. Tony, like Robert Downey Jr., funny. Like so, it's not like I don't laugh at stuff. But I guess I should have saw this one kind of coming because of what they did to Hulk. Taiki did this.
Yeah.
He started this shit. He started him down that path.
Hulk wasn't a goofball like, in Ultron.
He wasn't like that in Ultron. He was a problem.
He was tragic almost.
Right? Yo, he was like, he really needed to leave because he couldn't control himself.
He didn't need to be there.
Like facts. So he started to do with him. So I don't want to be like, oh, I don't want my superhero movie. I don't want none of that. No, Guardians of the Galaxy, funny, man. Like what I've laughed at those movies. I laughed at different things. Tony Stark did. It's a couple other things. I can name a lot of things, and just in that I laughed at, right? That made me laugh. But this didn't hit. This wasn't funny to me, man. It just wasn't funny at all. Like, but if you do find this funny, man, you're gonna have a good time. If you find that funny, because it's a lot of it.
You're gonna rewatch it a lot. You know what I mean? Because if you into this humor, if you enjoy this, if you think it's funny, this is gonna be a very rewatchable film for you.
Yeah, you
made an easy watch. Like
it definitely.
That's one thing I'll give it. Like I wasn't sitting there like
easy watch.
It wasn't like Eternals, for example. Like Eternals was a hard watch for me.
Bro, it was so
that was tough. Like
it's a tough watch, man.
You sitting there like, and even the second time, I'm like, man. Whew,
when I watched that thing a couple of weeks ago, or sometime last week, I was just like, yo, it's not a bad movie because it's well made. Like I want to say it it's not a bad movie. Like they didn't edit it right. You get what I'm saying? Like they didn't edit this. I agree. But
it looks great, yeah.
Visually, but like, yo, they take too long, and every time they need to get to something to get to it. You want to talk about Cutting Room 4? Like, there's a lot of stuff that should have got left in the cutting room because
that film needed a cut down. I agree.
To get to where it needed to get to every time.
Yeah,
every time. Like that was an hour and a half movie that should have been. Right, you get what I'm saying? Because it just took too long to get to everything. But this right here, like you say, they're gonna put that on Disney Plus, and this is gonna ride.
Yeah, it's good.
And I'm gonna text you like, hey man, remember that time we had the meeting on July 9th and we talked about Thor?
Yeah,
I might have to redo my ratings. Like,
yep.
I have to think about that because how much Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange shit went up for me. I think I had it a 6. After seeing it on Disney Plus, I'm like, yeah, this is a 7. I give it a 7.
It's kind of strong.
Kind of strong, bro. Like I had to damn, this is a good ass movie. You know what I mean? Like I had to watch it again. Like I watched it again today, as a matter of fact. I'm like,
hey, Doctor Strange slap on Disney Plus, man.
It slap me. It's
slap on Disney Plus.
It's slap.
I honestly walking out of, and I'm comfortable with saying this, man. Like walking out of Doctor Strange, it was like, it was just like, yo, you called it Multiverse of Madness. It wasn't that. Nah. It really wasn't a Doctor Strange movie.
Nah.
And even though I liked the movie more, it was Wanda's finale. Wanda's Revenge. That's a good way.
It was
That's a
horror
great
movie,
title. And then, realistically, even though it's a better movie now, when I watch it at the crib, the thought of having an Illuminati and that just didn't do it for me. It still don't do it for me.
Nah,
it still don't do it for
still
me.
a waste.
But and a lot was led into that. Like, damn, who in the fucking Illuminati? Like, they got 6. I'm looking at the seats, So it's like, yeah, maybe I built myself up to only be let down once we got to it, and that could have happened. But watching it at the crib, that shit it rolled, and this is going to be like a way. It's going to pop on the TV.
Yeah,
Dolby going to be right. It's going to be really, really nice. And who knows what else is going on by that time. That's another thing that's not happening right now is that I don't know how because I don't know how invested I am in Thor movies right now, right? To be like, okay, we got Hercules coming,
and
then we're gonna have Ares coming too, right? Because Ares is the real kind of like Hercules gonna end up being on the good side.
Yeah, Hercules
and then
is ultimately
we're gonna have Zeus, but like how invested in that, like how invested I'm gonna be because I'm not really that invested today. So that does kind of like what's going to make me continue on with this, because they're not doing a good job of what these to me right now. They're not doing a good job of things that's making me want to. What am I invested in? Like I always go back to Civil War and then like they brought Black Panther, then the Black Panther movie was coming.
Yep.
Right. Wakanda was coming. Right. Hell, they brought Spider-Man in the Spider-Man movies. Because it's not my favorite Spider-Man, but Spider-Man showed up. Oh, we about to get a Spider-Man movie with Iron Man? Okay. You get what I'm saying? Like, I got invested. Like, okay, got this happening. I'm invested in that. Like, hell, even seeing like, when they did the end credit of Doctor Strange and like him and Thor, like, oh, they got a Thor movie coming out. Like we got this, but that little scene right there was super dope, right? Like
exactly.
Like, and that played okay. That's why I asked that question earlier. When they brought Doctor Strange into Ragnarok, that makes sense. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, that makes sense. No, that makes sense.
They did that one right. Strange got a franchise.
Yeah.
Strange shows up and he played a part in being able to get them to. Which would make sense why now don't make sense why he would know Odin was here, but don't know there's a damn Tiamat's hanging out of damn Eternals, but I digress. Getting back to that part, that makes sense why he keep a list of beings coming into this earth, right? Your brother not supposed to be here. So it contradicts a couple things now, but at that time that definitely fit. And to counteract the Guardians of the Galaxy showing up in this movie, which could have seemed like a layup, really wasn't. They didn't really use them in the proper cut. They just used them so he can get to the point where he was doing the splits. Yeah. And then have that line where he say, I want to feel shit. Really, and it really was just a guy who saw his ex. They didn't even have like Jane let him go.
Oh man, so many moments, man. Where it's just
Jane let him go. They even took that. That's why I'm gonna get back to. I'm gonna let you go.
No,
I'm gonna let you talk. They even went to the point where they went back to Jane. They went to that whole montage about why they broke up. Hey, Korg, tell the story. He didn't want to talk about the Necro Sword. He didn't want to give us that, but they went over here and let us know. Even though they told us that Jane dumped him, and 2 times they let us know that Jane dumped him in Ragnarok and in Endgame.
Yep.
Right. But they used this movie to say why they broke up.
A neutral dumping.
Yeah, they did all that. We cool. But they used this movie to say, well, yeah, you was focused on this and took 10 minutes of the movie to do this montage. But they didn't want to do that for the Necro Sword. They didn't want to, we didn't know anything about Gore's people. We didn't know about anything about him killing. We could have did a montage of him killing other gods. We ain't need to see that, but they took that time to do that, right? Just so they can kind of get, but only thing it was a dude who saw his ex. And his ex was thicker.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it was, right? She was muscular, but you get what I'm saying. Like,
right.
It was basically the damn you got thick version of what I would say when I see an ex of mine. You got thick. And that was enough to lead them to the end on that boat, going into the dark area, shadow area, whatever it was called, to say, I want to feel shitty. And then that feeling was strong enough to turn Gore from erasing all gods to just bringing his daughter back to life. Where in the life that he was, and I'm going to trust you. I don't trust gods at all. And you've been spending this whole time to kill me, and nothing you've done shows me you ready to lead.
Thank you.
You had no coming of age, but I'm going to go ahead and give up my plan so that you can raise my daughter.
Facts.
I'm salty now, man.
Nothing about
it. I just made myself salty. My bad.
Nah, that's not. Hey, that's it, man. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. This conversation has made me, even the score that I gave it, has made me reconsider that score.
Hey, man, that movie was trash.
Hey, the movie was trash, man. Hey, this conversation just confirmed it for me, man. I don't know what I was thinking, even giving it.
I was showing love too, though.
Hey, the movie was trash. The movie was okay. The movie was watchable though.
It was a watchable.
I feel like Eternals was kind of like Eternals was trash, but like you said, it wasn't a bad movie. Yo, man, it was a hard watch.
It was a
hard watch with a lot of wasted. I felt like it just was a wasted. It squandered its potential, right? This movie just was trash, and it's watchable trash. But it's trash, and it's not like valuable. It don't hold no weight. This could have not happened. We could just say like, hey man, Kevin Feige come out tomorrow and say, hey, by the way, that's not canon. None of that happened. Are we? I mean, you can't really do that with Doctor Strange. You kind of be like, yeah, nah, that happened. You know what I mean?
That happened. You know what I mean? You can't just erase that. You know that happened. You know what I mean? Wanda did a lot. You know what I mean? So we're not just gonna erase that. Is this the first one, bro? Is this the first? Because it's really like, can we look at Eternals and say that didn't happen? I think we got to leave that on that happened category, right? Is that the bar? Is that the line? Because an Eternal sticking out the ground, but I guess we don't care because nobody's brought it up.
Nobody's acknowledged it yet.
So we already kind of retconned that.
We already kind of retconned it.
So it don't matter.
It don't matter. I was gonna say this about Eternals too. Eternals would have been so much better, bro, had it been the first Mark, other than Captain America or like Captain America, had it just been a prequel somehow, right? Had they just said that shit happened in 1998 as opposed to 5 years after the blip, that would have been, the film would have been way better off. I felt like had that just been a straight up prequel. Like had they somehow said like, oh, all this happened before they,
Imagine if they just kept like Tammy or something like that, like kind of like around that time, like when they was really putting in work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They hadn't done nothing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but like
right now, it whether it happened and kind of happened, I think they keep wanting to go back to. It feels like that, but I don't really have no proof now that I thought when I saw the Celestials and what's the name of like I maybe need to watch Eternals again. That's why I watched it because I saw the trailer with two Celestials and damn Omnipotent City, whatever it's called, Omnipotent, whatever it's called.
Omnipotent City, yeah, it's like
I was like, oh, I need to watch Eternals again because
did this shit happen though? I don't know, but I think you're right.
Yeah, but this didn't have to happen.
This didn't have to happen. What bearing does it have on the future of the MCU?
Dude, they could have just made a TV show for Jane and had Marcy show up, Darcy show up and shit like, and then Thor could have showed up once or twice, and he literally could have had this movie, but acting the same way, just show up once or twice for the fact because they did a Mighty Thor movie for Jane and going through cancer, and at the end of the series she died.
There you go. Or it would have meant more, to be honest with you, even though I felt like, all right, it was kind of fitting that she died because she was going hard with Mjolnir, but
she was nicer than Thor was with Mjolnir. But go ahead, though.
She
had that thing splitting up and everything. Yeah, that thing
bringing it back. Yeah,
when she did that sword, that was actually kind of dope.
First of all, let me say that because she called Mighty Thor, right?
Yeah, she's Mighty Thor.
Hey, man, she was dope.
She was dope as fuck, man.
She was dope as fuck. I can't complain about her, bro. I can't complain about Natalie Portman's performance.
Not one bit.
how they executed her, the shit she was, everything she did in the movie, bro. Her costume, she was dope. I did not have a problem with her, man. But with that said, it almost would have meant more if you kept her alive and saved that inevitable death, and made her a part of Secret Wars. Right?
Oh.
Then we got something, because now we just like, well, because she didn't do anything, right? Okay, you stopped the God Butcher, but that you didn't really leave a mark, right? Like it's not
didn't really earn her death in battle like that. You get what I'm saying? Am I saying it right? Like we knew she was gonna die, right? Because that's the story. But then she comes back as a Valkyrie at some point. You know, that's what they're gonna do now. They already kind of rushed that. She's gonna come back as a Valkyrie in Secret Wars, but she just gonna be like Valkyrie was in Endgame. She's gonna be on a horse flying and shit. They're gonna give her a couple dollars to show up in Secret Wars. But like you say, have that be a pivotal moment at some point in time in the Secret Wars where you're like, what just happened?
But even just, I'm saying that because I'm saying, all right, like she ended up in Valhalla at the end. But even if you had just kept her alive and where she was just like, I made my choice, you know, I'm gonna be Thor until it's over, you know what I mean? Like where they run out. Yeah, where they told her, like, hey, if you change back to Jane, you're done. Like, you're gonna die. If you change back to Jane, once you change back to Jane, you're gonna die. So you gotta stay Thor. You gotta give up everything on Earth, and you Thor now. Had she made that decision at the end of the movie, it would have been more like, okay, now we're connecting. Now we know there are things to come. We know she's gonna die eventually, but now she's gonna die saving all of reality, as opposed to
it wasn't a way. So am I saying this kind of like follow? Because I'm totally with you. That's a great point. Especially because they didn't really have it, that there was this epic moment that they had to defeat Gore.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? They didn't really have it. They stopped him, but they didn't take him out.
Nah.
And I'm lying. They didn't stop him. They just stopped the sword. He was going, but he had made it.
No, he got the key and everything, opened it up. He got to the doorstep. He was right there.
Yeah, he was there. So her even sacrificing at that moment in time, like I don't know, or losing that energy, or whatever it was that was kind of starting to drain her at that point in time. They could have, like, it didn't need to go that. It didn't need to be that was where she lost her power, because he stayed alive. Like, he was able to still make it to his end game, his end goal.
Yeah.
She could have been like, actually, what's one that they did? I feel like they did that with somebody in but no one dies in the MCU. But like at some point in time in the middle of like an epic moment in the Coulson in Avengers.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't die, he ultimately got a show. But at the end of the day, that's when they became Avengers, right?
Facts.
Like some kind of moment, like you say, maybe in Secret Wars, like maybe her actual death is pivotal, right? Maybe she feel like she need to be chained to do something because of the space-time shit that's happening. She need to actually use her brain.
Yeah.
That final time. She
got to
use her brain.
Perfect. That's what I'm saying.
Brain is what.
Okay, where you like,
I made that sacrifice.
Damn. That's what I'm talking about. That would have meant more. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to. Yeah, great. Thank you for that's a great ending. That's what I mean. Had she made that decision for the larger overarching MCU, as opposed to just, I'm Jane again, you know, I'm dying now, so talk him out of it. You know, oh no, I'm gonna go. So because you know, it kind of was a moment there where you thinking like, all right, well, if Thor can just kill Gore right now, he could just wish Jane back to life.
That's
right?
What I thought was gonna happen.
Right. Everybody in the theater thinking that, like, okay,
that's what he's about to do.
But
I was sitting there like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Right.
Don't let that.
But that's
not how it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I was like, please don't do that.
That's not how it's gonna happen, is it?
But he chose to. He let him bring his daughter back. But yeah, I agree. That saving that, just making her just commit to Thor and be like, I'm Thor. Like, you know what I mean? I got Mjolnir, because she was a dope ass Thor.
She was a dope Thor.
I was like, damn, like, you can't.
Hey man,
I wasn't knocking her. Like,
female. They fell into a dope female hero.
They did, bro, and they killed her off. Like, it was like she had everything, man. Like she wasn't. Again, this is what I'm talking about, bro. This is how you do it. She wasn't obnoxious with it either. She wasn't denigrating Thor. even though she could have.
She
had every lane to do it. Like it was like, oh yeah,
I mean, it was an X.
Yeah, it was like little. She was getting him with little snipes. Like, I mean, you left, and they was kind of going back and forth, but it wasn't just like she was just over. They wasn't overdoing it with her making him look bad.
No one believes in me.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. Like old girl with the twerking. Like she didn't have none of that. None of that kind of like typical shit, thing they kind of sneak in.
Nah, man, she was Jane Foster and she was female Thor. Like she was just like she was just way more likable, I think, than people realized that she was gonna be.
You're absolutely right, man.
So but nobody, I didn't have a problem with her. I was just like, man, damn, female Thor is dope. Like Jane Foster's Thor is dope. Like this is a great character. Like, but again, then we got to the end and it's like, oh wait a minute, hold on, she gotta die. It's like, well, damn. Okay, I almost was feeling that way about Gore too. Like, damn, Gore need to die.
Yeah. Do we need that's how we doing it? Like,
can y'all figure this out? How to keep this? Because Christian Bale killed this shit. Like, he was incredible. Like, I don't know.
So you're gonna have a thing where it says Thor returns. Like, damn, that Gore couldn't have got away at the end.
Yeah. Like, again, the movie really didn't need to happen.
Like Gore could have came back and she could have been part of Secret Wars.
That's what I'm
like,
saying,
you know what I'm saying? Like, what they have to get, especially if they go battle, kind of a battle world kind of thing.
Yeah. Because you would still be in the same place, right? Like, you would still think about this. Ragnarok. Let's just say that Hela didn't die. Or they didn't destroy if you take that away, the Surtur killing him having to summon Surtur to kill Hela, if you take that away, and had she gotten away, it changes like the MCU, right?
It changes the entire MCU.
Bro. The Asgardians don't get on the ship. They don't get boarded by Thanos. They don't get half of their civilization. They don't get displaced on Earth. It like changes Endgame. Thor doesn't slip into this depression. It would change it's like, you know what I mean? Like Thor's not the same guy if Surtur don't come in there at the end. Like let's say Thor had just about to retreat or whatever, or he just we'll live to fight another day. Ragnarok doesn't happen. Asgard doesn't get destroyed. You don't end up in a ship going through space. You don't meet Thanos that way. So it's like, you know what I mean? So
they would have been protected by Asgard.
Yeah, this film on the other end, whether Gore lives or dies, you're in the same place no matter what, right?
Yeah.
We still in the same place. Like, y'all still live on Asgard. I mean, y'all still live on Earth, New Asgard. Thor still really don't got a home. I mean, he got a daughter now, but he
was they traveling on? What they have? Where they get the ship from?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell was. What was that, man?
Ship? They didn't have the boat no more. The goat
was
boat.
That? Yeah,
they had like a
ship.
No.
Yeah.
Where get the ship from?
Wait a minute, don't she? Because he got Mjolnir back at the end, and she got Stormbreaker. Yeah, okay. So it's like,
but they had that ship. Yeah, that's right. They had a ship at the end. Maybe that's a minute detail, but like, what Thor just coming up on ships?
Right. Like
he ain't had never not one ship. He always had the Bifrost.
Did he meet up with the Guardians of the Galaxy?
He probably got it from. Or he could have got it from like Sakaar. Then they cut the scene out. Like he went and ran up on a Grandmaster.
Yeah, I need a ship. Okay.
Because he was making pancakes and everything on there. They had a fully functioning kitchen. Boots. Yeah, they had closet space.
Yeah, man. Had her dressing up. It's like, yeah, that was, man.
Yeah.
So
that movie did not need to happen. But go ahead.
That's the point I'm making, man. Is that
didn't need to happen.
The movie didn't matter in the grand scheme, right? If the movie doesn't happen, we're in the same place that we were before in terms of the MCU. It didn't move. It didn't like shift. Like it didn't shift things in any direction, right? Did it? Or maybe I'm missing something because he butchered some guys, but those guys that he butchered, how integral were they to? He didn't kill no Celestials.
He didn't kill no Celestial. He didn't do anything to Earth. He didn't do anything to 616, right? So did it impact 616?
Hey man, Thanos destroyed Xandar to get a stone, bro. You never can go back to Xandar. It's gone.
It's over. He
wrecked it,
decimated.
bro.
He decimated. Xandar. Yeah, Gore's what he did, and let's keep it a buck. This was what's so trash about that whole thing. They told us that, bro. Zeus told us that. Insignificant gods, and none of them did anything for us. Whatever his little accent was, he told us that the people he killed didn't matter.
So it was like, wait a minute.
Thor's like, he's coming here. Like, come on, man. He don't even know. He don't even know what we can't. He can't do nothing about this. He trying to go to eternity. He
didn't even threaten it.
Eternity.
Yeah, he didn't even threaten the
He was cool.
City. It wasn't like he was knocking on the door, like trying to get in, right?
He was just trying to. I guess his goal was to. He just needed to get the door so he can get Stormbreaker.
He just wanted to trick Thor into coming. He just wanted to get. He had already succeeded, right, in his plan. Like, I got the kids. Now you got to come get me, but you got to bring Stormbreaker, which you don't know is the key. So I'm just waiting on you. I laid the trap. Here you go,
bro. How
he didn't even have to kill another guy. Wait a minute. I'll give you it. I'll do another one. Did he even need to butcher a god?
He didn't need to do anything.
What did he need to butcher gods for? Why did he need to do it? If his ultimate goal was to just wish all the gods away, what does it matter that he butchered the gods? Like, he didn't, like him butchering the gods. Okay, I guess he killed again, though. We never see this. Somebody did point this out. I think it was Angry Joe who pointed this out in his review. He did. Okay, at some point he gets the information that he needs about Eternal, right? Like he finds out that if I go to Eternal, then we're assuming, but we don't see this on screen, that he was killing some guy, and some guy was like begging for his life and just gave him the information. Like, if you do this, you can wish everything. But we never see that. We just
unless the sword beyond giving him super, like strength, it gave him knowledge, like high type of knowledge. But other than that, he would have had to go get. Yeah, they go get that from somebody. He had to go muscle somebody to go get
that out of somebody. Man. He tortured.
We never see that.
He tortured a guy, but we don't see that, right? Like, if we just seen that, then it's like, okay, that's why you killing. Well, that's why you do need to kill guys, because you're on a journey, right? Because that's what every villain does. Thanos did it all the way down to Ronin and whatever. Yeah. Any villain is always on a journey to figure out, like, they trying to get an answer to something, to gain this ultimate, like, to get whatever their ultimate plan is.
Yeah.
So him figuring out, like, I need to get to Eternal so I can make this wish, and then if I make the wish, I can just kill all the guys that way.
Yeah.
Okay, he did that, but we don't see that. So we're left asking, well, why are you killing gods in the first place? Why do you need to kill them? You never need to kill the gods.
Let's like you say, the last guy he killed was the guy, but we don't know that. Well, why did you need to kill the gods? If you knew you just need to get their eternity, so maybe he had to kill somebody. But like I said, we don't get that information.
And why didn't he just kill Thor? So, and like you said, Zeus told us that the gods was insignificant. Gore couldn't just kill. So this is where they weaken Gore now, because Gore couldn't just kill Thor and take Stormbreaker from him. He had to, like, trick him. He had to do some trickery, right? He wasn't powerful enough to really challenge Thor to just kill him and just take the last key that he needed. Nah, he had to retreat. You took down all these other guys, like, but again, Zeus said, he killed insignificant guys. So we never see him kill, like, a elite god. Yeah, obviously. He didn't even kill, like, a demigod, right? Like, he didn't even kill Hercules. Like,
yeah, like, and
again, coming in and decapitating Zeus would have been like, oh, shit.
Because that's what I'm from the trailers. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. Yeah, right. That's kind of what you leave me. And then, like if we get to the kind of gatekeeper aspect of it, that, like, Gore has to keep killing gods to get his energy up. Every time he kind of faced Thor, he couldn't beat him, so he had to go retreat, kill some more people, some more gods, so he can, like, at least get enough power to be able to battle Thor. I think the only reason he couldn't stop Thor, he couldn't get him when he showed up and got the kids, or maybe that was his ultimate plan, because I think Jane showed up, right?
Yeah, he was ultimately facing Jane and Valkyrie. He got jumped, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so he facing three of them, so he's like, whoa,
he was strong,
it's a lot. So he couldn't just overtake Thor at that point. He had to really like, all right, it's too much. I'm gonna play the long game. I'm gonna just so I understand that plan. I can live with that, right?
Yeah.
I can live with that.
But he should have had to slaughter more gods if he was going to actually take up. Because what made him good enough to beat Thor based on that plan? Right? Okay, I couldn't get him. He gonna come back with them. I just need Stormbreaker. But they didn't establish that in the movie that was a thing. Like that's me. That's us knowing that. Like he gets his energy from knocking off more and more gods. Right?
Yeah.
Excuse me, but he hadn't done anything to be able to. And then why would he have plans written down on a piece of paper in his damn hiding spot? Right? But that's they always do whatever.
Yeah.
We can break down everything because that was like okay, well it's Stormbreaker's the key, right? Like and then she chucked that shit, but like
get the shit out of
it. Like why would you do that? Why you do that?
Why'd you do that? Yeah.
But
hey man, Jane was dope, bro.
Jane was dope. The movie didn't need there was no, but let's kind of breaking it down. Jane was dope.
Yeah.
But breaking it down more and more, to your point, what other than a post credit, same thing for Eternals and having Blade, right? Basically to get to the point to the Blade. So that's why you say I agree with you. Talking it out don't matter. Other than the post credit and introducing the likelihood of Hercules showing up. What part can you see a part? What did this movie do to the MCU?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, if I had to, you had that, and then you had Valhalla. What did it do?
So, like, just the body of the movie, like you say, the post credits, and they got Zeus, whatever. But like, let's say just the movie.
It didn't shift.
They still in Asgard. All they doing is raising more Asgardians, right? Okay, we're gonna teach people how to fight self-defense classes, right? Sif got one arm. But what did the events? It didn't change anything, or is it still tourist contraction? Are we gonna do the whole thing where like now next time we see Asgard, they're gonna play that role where they I think they try to like the U.S. government don't want them or the Earth don't want them there anymore. But that's a whole nother. But like what happened from that movie? Where like every time we ever seen Thor before, something that happened that was actually a very big part in the MCU, right?
Yeah,
like it was a very big part, and it was Avenger related. It was an Avenger related event. Nothing in this I can't point it because you took Jane out, right?
Yeah, Jane's gone.
So
it's not like.
You took Mighty Thor, Jane gone.
You took Mighty Thor out. So it's look,
wow,
Mighty Thor
things they doing to try to be progressive. Kind of have a Mighty Thor.
You had it. I mean, you got her in the.
She was gonna be better.
She just popped. Yeah.
My bad.
Go ahead.
She's gonna be better than everybody else they have on the roster right now in terms of the female side.
Yes. And she just popped up in the Avengers game, right? Like
she was an
her DLC just came up. Like she's available now.
The game for real?
Game, yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, she's in the game.
Shit, now they got to get turned on.
So I'm saying you don't have Spider-Man in there. You don't have because they kind of line up with the movies, right?
Yeah.
So like whoever popping up in the movies, they popping up in this game now.
Hawkeyes.
Yeah, she popped up. Yeah, Kate Bishop's in there. I think Ant-Man's in there. So it's like
she was gonna be the best thing they had on the female side.
You could have had. She would have solved the problem, which is, hey man, she from Midgard. She from Earth. Thor not from Earth, but he's supposed to be watching over Midgard. He's supposed to be watching over Earth, but he constantly off planet, which is the reason they broke up. So Jane being from Earth, hey man, she could have been an Avenger, bro. That based on Earth, right? So it's like, and you had a nice little female character.
That's a good point. They doing that too with the Shang-Chi and the Miss Marvel of it all. Is that one of the things that make their powers significant? Is that they're human and like half human, and then other parts of their power come from that that other realm that their family history is from. Like one reason that Shang-Chi could control the rings the way he do, because not only does he have his human side, he got the Taylor, whatever that was. That's why it's like his moms can work it, but he's like extra because of the humans. So he got the and that now we get to the part where we did Kree or Celestials did testing on them. That's gonna be a lot. Like the Kree kind of tested on them back then. They already established that in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
But then now you bring in the Marvels.
And they had Kree technology on Earth, too.
Kree technology on Earth, because I don't know if you've seen any of this Ms. Marvel movie. You ain't going to this TV show. Yeah. But, I mean, I ain't trying to tell you to watch it. It's like certain things that have happened. They already kind of got a 10 rings Easter egg.
There's 6 episodes. I'm going to watch it eventually.
It's a 10-ring Easter egg in there. And then there's also like when they get the bangle that she used, it's off a blue hand. We know that's Kree. Damn. And Kree was doing technology on him. That's why like her powers, she's half human and she's half from the Veil. Her family, her grandma's from the Veil. It's around the Veil, Veil, like a Veil, the Veil realm. But ultimately, to your point about the human thing, like they're doing that where like one of the things that makes them extra extraordinary is that they have human. They are actually from Earth. They're from Midgard. And like the Jane part of it, she from Midgard. That what they represent, and been also being able to have that power of Thor. It's not it's like it would have left a trail. It kind of went in with some of the things they were doing with Phase 4. Is my point. So that makes it. I feel like they kind of dropped the ball on that, but they should have kept her alive for a little bit longer.
She dropped the ball, man, and
they should have killed Valkyrie.
I'm gonna close with this, man. I'm gonna get off here at the top of the hour here. I brought this. I shot you a text after I got out of the movie.
Oh man, yeah, I wouldn't get into that.
Well, okay. So
which one you got? Because you said
it's 2. That's 2 real quick. First is Deadpool should have been in a movie because Ryan Reynolds got the connection with Taika Waititi. They was both in Green Lantern.
Yeah,
Deadpool should have popped in. This was perfect for him. They didn't do it. Second is, where are we gonna rank this damn movie, man?
I had a line for you.
Yeah.
Is it in the first 10, the last 10, or the middle 10? Chris, no Chris.
Man,
I think Wakanda coming out, that'll be 30 MCU movies. So first, we got this in the first 10, the middle 10, or the last 10.
Damn. That's a go.
Hey man, I'm telling you, man, Dark World keeps saying, hold my beer, man, the cats, man.
Yeah, man.
Where they was putting it all like, oh, it's the worst. I don't want to say this is because it's gonna be hella rewatchable.
Yeah, that's the thing. I kind of learned my lesson, like you said, man. Like we talked about, bro. Doctor Strange, we had that movie in the garbage folder.
Yeah, it was in the garbage.
And we watched it now, and it's like, man, that's actually not bad.
With new information, you could change your mind.
Yeah, man. When you see it in the format that is obviously intended to be in, which I think is not even IMAX, even though they filmed it all with IMAX cameras. I think it's IMAX for Disney Plus.
I think it's Disney Plus.
That little IMAX option that they offer you, watching it like that is what I feel like it's really meant for.
I watched the thing before you go. I watched the thing to your point where they were asking like, why would DC? Why are they making a Super Pets movie? Right? And they was like, no, that's just content for HBO Max.
That's just waiting to get to HBO Max.
That's just HBO Max content. A lot of the shit coming out, bro, is really just content. So
whatever they make at the theaters, they'll make that little 200, 300 million. Maybe they can really, if they blow up, then good for them. But
I really feel like this is the Disney Plus. I feel like this is the Disney Plus movie. They're gonna get a lot of money from HBO from the theaters from this, right? It's a Thor movie. They're gonna get a lot.
This gonna get rewatched though. On Disney Plus.
Numbers on Disney Plus.
It's gonna be numbers
play real well.
So I don't even know if I can rank it, man. Until I watch it.
I'll give you one. What was that? It's in the bottom 10.
I gotta rank it then. I gotta rank it right now until even though I'm gonna rewatch it and it might move up. I got it in the bottom 10 as well, man.
Where you got it in the Thor pantheon?
I'll be honest. Dead last.
Yeah, I got it dead last.
The first Thor movie is very underrated. The second movie, I feel like might come around and be the best. But if I really had to say, Ragnarok probably the best overall Thor movie. But this is dead last. Just because this so it's so unnecessary and
It don't play no part, man.
don't play no part, man. It's literally part 4 that you can just forget about. That trilogy is strong. Ragnarok make that trilogy strong. Second movie, Dark World's underrated. First movie is very solid. But this movie, man, you don't have to have this movie, man. You don't. It's just like you can take it away. You could just be like, you can ignore it. So it's so much. It's so irrelevant to the trilogy and to the Marvel universe, into the MCU universe. Yeah, give me dead last. I got it dead last, and I do got it in the bottom 10. I got it in the bottom 10. I still don't have it under. To me, nothing is under Eternals.
I think Eternals is the worst.
Eternals to me is the worst. Captain Marvel's is
Captain
down
Marvel's is on Eternals' heels.
Them Ant-Mans really don't fare
Second
well.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, that's
second Ant-Man, except for the fact of how much it means because of the quantum realm.
Yeah.
It like I don't have it lower than Captain Marvel, but I can go first Ant-Man, second Ant-Man, Captain Marvel, Eternals.
Yeah.
It just matter where I'm gonna put this one.
This one is like
I got this in the bottom 10 right now. I got to do my now. To be fair, I have to do it. We keep saying we're gonna do a rankings show, an MCU rankings show. I still got to really do my rankings. Like, okay, it's easy to say bottom 10, but what's the 10, right?
Yeah,
like we were talking about Steph Curry. Like, hey, top 10 is he top 10 player? Okay, well, somebody got to come out the 10 to put him in the 10, right?
That's true. Yeah.
What is my bottom 10 to say? Yeah, what is the complete list? Because I think I would struggle when I get to like 21, 22. Because it might be 21, 22, 23 might be movies that I like. They just happen to be not as good. Because they was on an amazing run. Right?
Yeah,
they really only got a few that's in the garbage folder.
Some of them you're gonna have to just eat and be like, hey man, I like that movie, man, but I gotta put something gotta be in that spot. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Some of the movies you just like, nah, that's not a bad movie, but something gotta be at the bottom. You know what I mean? So
we're gonna have to put some of these shows in that ranking too. Like yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I walked out. I didn't want to hate. I was just like, because it was like two parts to it, and like you say, Doctor Strange definitely opened my eyes in a different way to kind of view these, and I was like, wow, this is gonna be a really good. I think this is gonna be a really good Disney Plus movie. When it's going on Disney Plus, it's gonna rock. It just didn't do it for me when I left the theater yesterday. I was like, I didn't get the jokes. So that's a whole nother thing. And it was like, if the jokes weren't funny to me, I got the jokes. I'm lying. I got the jokes.
Yeah, the jokes wasn't low hanging, you know what I mean?
It just wasn't funny. Yeah, it was like Three Stooges level. Like,
yeah, it was goofy as hell.
Like, I get all that. Like, it just didn't do it for me. But for some people, they're gonna be like, man, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah. This generation, they'll be like, oh my god,
like I did nothing. Like the way he was acting, it just was so. Yeah, I just look at it like that. I got it in the bottom 10 today. I need to do a for real comprehensive what a for real list is. And like I'm with you, it kind of falls into the eternal. It really falls in the eternal category where to me, it just at the end of the day, even if it was great, it just don't matter.
Yeah.
It just don't matter. Like whatever Shang-Chi, Shang-Chi matters. The rings matter.
You can't move
matter. They brought Wong and them in there. Like it mattered. Like to the point now, it's like that movie mattered so much. Like, why haven't we seen Shang show up and shit else?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Shang need to be making more cameos.
We saw Black Panther, and then we saw him the next show. We saw something like, why hasn't Shang-Chi showed up in anything? If I watch this finale of Marvel on next week, and Shang-Chi, like this shit got Shang-Chi gonna have to show up. I ain't even worried about seeing Carol. Shang-Chi need to show up in this finale. Like, kind of their stories kind of almost overlap a little bit, man. So it's like, but back to the point, Shang-Chi mattered. I don't know what No Way Home was just his own thing. Multiverse of Madness, for some of the things they put in it, matter.
Yeah, it did, man.
Right. And they also brought a multiversal traveling being into the movie, right?
Yeah.
Like they trained in America.
Yeah.
She gonna do something where they're gonna have to pop into places because they gotta do something in Secret Wars, or they're gonna have her own little spinoff or whatever. At the end of the day, in terms of the MCU, shit that happened in the movie matters. Nothing in this movie outside of the end credits matter. Zeus had a skirt on.
Zeus had a skirt on and was throwing the baton up in the lightning bolt. Like,
and then nuts, he was so bad with his skirt that he did the whole look at my skirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, not only he didn't just walk out, they wanted us to make sure that we saw that he had a skirt on. They had a god of
that's another video we're going to have to do another day, man. Is you right, man? None of that shit mattered, and it should have mattered, because in the past you couldn't just make a Marvel movie that didn't matter.
You couldn't do that.
You couldn't do it. None of them in them early phases. There's not damn movie exists that don't matter. We not until we got to the Eternals in this phase we in now can we even say that. And the Eternals matter, obviously, but I'm talking about just we haven't even gotten to the phase to the point yet we can say that about movie until we got to this phase post Endgame.
There's one that don't matter, and it's a movie that I really like, and I don't even want to say it now because it's too late. It's on recording. It's one that don't matter.
Are we recording still?
The movie. We still recording.
Okay.
I ain't turned it off yet. There's one that don't matter, and it's a great movie. I like it. A lot of people don't like it.
I know which one you're talking about, but go ahead.
Go ahead, what you got? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna say Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 actually don't matter, and I love the movie.
You think so?
Go ahead.
I think Iron Man 3 mattered.
He had
because
PTSD.
Yeah.
He said I'm done.
He destroyed all the suits.
And then he showed up in Age of Ultron.
Oh man.
What's her name? It had power. And then she didn't have power.
Damn. I'm hurt. Because that's my favorite Iron Man.
What's that sign when my man say he like, hey, I'm gonna say Iron Man 3 don't matter to the MCU. Prove me wrong. Whatever that little sign they always tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah. Crowder. Yeah.
No. It's a little meme, dude. He just sitting there. He's sitting there with a table, like a picnic table, and he got a sign. They always just rolled up like they'll say something like, DC movies don't matter. They just throw a little. It's a little meme. I'm gonna have to pull it up for our Iron Man 3 don't matter show. Damn. I don't think Iron Man 3, and I like the movie a lot. It's probably my favorite Iron Man movie. It don't matter to the MCU.
And you can even, you know what? Fuck.
Does it? Because it made like you could
even say, nah.
He had PTSD. They didn't have no iron. They didn't have no Infinity Stones in it.
I will argue that it mattered because it mattered because you see Tony does change, right? Okay. And Tony does have a sort of like a solace with what happened in New York, right? Like we do kind of need to see that, and we do because we kind of just could have got to the like, all right, because he don't really have PTSD after Iron Man 3.
Of it after that.
He was kind of cured, like he was kind of over the anxiety and the panic attacks and shit. He was kind of over that.
And only one that referenced kind of event. They got the Civil War and said like, Tony came back. I destroyed all my suits and shit. Right? They threw some lines in there and they threw a couple clips, but it's the only one that still kind of harkened on the Battle of New York.
Yeah. So
and it was still kind of dealing with post. It dealt with post Battle of New York as opposed to forward Infinity Saga.
Damn.
So it's kind of like to me, it's like the back end of that. It's like how damn, we getting on the topic. It's kind of too late for this now. It's kind of like how the Spider-Man Far From Home was like kind of post blip, and it still dealt with the blip.
Yeah.
That's kind of how Iron Man 3 was. It still dealt with Avengers, the whole shit from that. And then they went to Thor. I think Thor was next, and we was in Infinity Saga.
That's
but I could be wrong. Like that's
that's my argument on it.
I think but no, you're right, because Tony he wasn't right.
Yeah, Tony wasn't right. Tony wasn't the same guy. Like the Tony that's in Iron Man 3 was not the same Tony that was in Iron Man 2. Not only did he have to get over the shit that he was dealing with previous to New York, he had to get over the shit that he had developed after New York. It was a
character development.
He was already this like, okay,
I get your point.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was already this guy that was like, the thing in my chest. I still got the thing in my chest.
He was hella reckless.
Yeah, he was reckless as hell. He was like, he was still dealing with a lot of baggage, you know what I mean, especially from his past. Yeah. Fast forward Iron Man 3, by the end of that movie, he was like, just him, that symbolized something. Him being able to destroy all the suits, even though he brought them back. He brought, for him to do that, symbolized something. So that was some growth in the character that I think needed to happen. You can't. I think if you take that away, then we kind of just like, well, what is so? How did Tony get here?
We still got Playboy billionaire philanthropist.
There you go.
Where he became leader. That one of the, that's obviously him and Cap, but he became the leader he needed to be, and he couldn't have done that without Iron Man 3. So more than the movie as itself as it played on the MCU, it was the character part. Because I guess we can make the same kind of conversation. No, I'm not going to say Captain America's movies wasn't really Infinity Saga movies, but the character development needed to happen so that he could be part of the Infinity, what they needed to do in Infinity Saga, right? Because they didn't deal with Infinity Stones, and they just had a post credit in Winter Soldier, right? Nothing happened. But Wanda came up in the credit in the Fall of Hydra, and then when we get to Civil War, like they was the team broke up and they wasn't prepared for Infinity War. But it's still the movie overall impacted MCU, and then Tony's development at the end of Iron. I give you that.
It was close though, because it's like
that's a good one.
He hanging up.
I stand down because he had to become what he needed to become.
Yeah.
On face, it's easy for me to say like, no, Iron Man 3 don't play no part in the MCU. Like, if the movie, but I can't say based on that if the movie didn't happen, because the things that he left with, he didn't stop doing. Like, I'm gonna destroy my suits. I'm done. But then we seen him in the beginning of the thing talking about language, but he had to get to that point where he could be even a teammate, because he really still wasn't a teammate.
Nah, he was like showing.
He still wasn't a teammate. Even though he fell from the sky, he wasn't a teammate.
He was almost doing them like a charity, like
yeah.
I mean, I'm Iron Man,
Yeah, he wasn't a teammate. Yeah, okay, okay, yeah. I almost had one.
Let's close it out, man. Yeah, I'm up here, man. I'm tired as hell, man.
All right, bro. Yeah.
But shit, man. Yeah, good looking out though, man. I'm glad we got this one in, man. This was
at least we honest.
Yeah, we had to be honest about this one. I'll be honest, man. I came in here. I was pretty positive, man. I was pretty positive about how I felt. How I walked out of the theater yesterday, but in the back of my mind, it was gnawing at me. Hey man, I knew that movie was trash, B.
I knew that movie was trash.
I knew that movie was what's the word I'm looking for, man? Disposable.
It was a disposable movie. It don't matter.
And I knew it. Like, I was just like, well, I mean, that was funny. I mean, it was some funny parts. I was like, I think that's gonna be rewatchable. It's gonna be something nice to have on the TV, right?
It's gonna be something nice to have.
It's gonna slap on Dolby on the Dolby. You know what I mean? It's gonna be straight when you stream it, but in the grand scheme, even if we look in past and future, it's not gonna matter.
It's not gonna matter.
It's just not gonna matter. Even the shit with Eternal at the end is just like, that's not gonna matter, bro. Like, it's just not gonna matter. Like, so
it's not gonna matter. It don't matter. If Wong don't basically right now, Wong don't show it. It don't matter.
It doesn't matter. Man.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
And it's a lot of time wasted, man. And just one more thing, man. One more thing before I get out, because you brought this up earlier, man. You made a great point when you compare Guardians of the Galaxy. Because I used to complain about, and you said it, man. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 funny as fuck, man.
It's a funny movie.
I appreciate it more now. Yeah. Not only after this movie, but after what you just said about it, right? How you broke it down. I appreciate that movie now, because I used to complain about that movie.
Yeah,
I used to hate on it, really.
I did too for a long time, man.
And my hate used to stem from, man, hey man, y'all overdid it, man. Yeah. How many moments can y'all have, man? I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. I'm you know what I mean? Because it took what they did. It took what they did in the first movie where he was like,
he did that to Leia.
It took the We Are Groot moment, and they multiplied that times like 500, right?
Yeah.
They just kept having them We Are Groot moments. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. What's the other one? It's like, multiple moments like that, and I complained about that. But looking back, man, James Gunn knew what he was doing, man. James Gunn, you rather overstate than understate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last night, I felt like I watched a big understatement. It was too much comedy, and it was not enough serious moments. It was not enough of those We Are Groot moments.
Yeah, because there was a lot of that. Like that damn Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was an emotional movie, bro.
It was emotional.
The scavenger damn funeral.
Many moments.
When they thought Quill wasn't gonna make it, and fucking Drax was like, Quill.
Where's Quill?
Yeah, him being mad and like finding out how his mom's died. Like it was his father that did it.
That was an emotional movie. It was long as fuck too. So it's like
shit going on between the two sisters.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that she just really wanted a sister, bro.
All that,
like,
man. He was able to do all that and make you laugh. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to. That's what I mean about Taika Waititi.
To go with that shit,
that's what I mean, man. That's what I mean about this shit, man. You had the subject matter there, B. Yeah. You had cancer.
That movie wrote itself. This one,
yeah. Jane had that cancer, bro. That's emotional as hell, bro. That's the love you had. Even if you just take the cancer away, this is a couple that broke up.
Exactly.
This is a couple that's broke up and now are reuniting. You got that. You got the fact that, hey, man, Asgard is still not Asgard, bro. They on Earth. They displaced. They on Earth. They planet, they once great little land or whatever has now turned into a tourist attraction, man.
They're basically like Jamaica.
Yeah, they like a country, a little small country now, bro. A little small tourist attraction. That means something, right? You got that. You got this shit with the God Butcher.
Gore lost everything.
He lost everything, man. His faith got upended. He believed in God's, man. His daughter died right in front of him.
Shit don't matter.
All you had, you said it. This movie wrote itself, and they still just was like, nah, just focus on. We just gonna do more jokes, man.
I'll show you how funny I am. How
instead of
push the thing,
you had everything, but instead of you using those moments where you told the same joke, it's not like you just filled it up with brand new jokes. You just kept telling the same joke.
Yeah.
Instead of had you cut back on the goats screaming 8 times. You could have had something like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Cut off a little bit of gore, not gore, but Korg's shit. Because think about one last thing about Guardians of the Galaxy. Then you had the Quill rocket of it all.
Yeah.
Along with them trying to protect a little bit. Baby Groot was a fucking merchandise, but like you got the Baby Groot of it all trying to figure. Hey man, they had a lot of shit going on.
A lot of shit going on, man.
Like, because it wasn't as good as movie as the first.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
It was really one moment.
But it was a lot of things. You're right, man.
Was like We Are Groot was their moment.
That was their moment.
That was like that because they wasn't a family. They wasn't this. There was one speech, right, that he made. Like we all been losers. We lost something, and they got together, and then like you say, we are Groot, right? We are Groot.
We are Groot. Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2 had a lot of that, right? They had a lot of We Are Groots, right? It was a lot of shit going on emotionally, right? Like sisters, brothers, like basically Rocket and Groot brothers.
Yeah.
Rocket and Quill, they going at it. And then you got the whole, he might not have been your father, but he was your father, but he wasn't your daddy kind of shit. They got that aspect of it. It was a lot going on emotionally. It was a lot of jokes. I felt like it was counterbalanced. It was, like I said, it wasn't as good as the movie as the first one. And I did not like it until probably like they started streaming on Disney Plus. I was like, damn, this, because I went in going to see some shit. And then I left out like, okay, whatever. And then I watched it.
I don't think I liked it until this conversation just now. I'll be honest with you. Like until like seeing somebody else, you the way you kind of broke it down, man. Yeah. Sometimes you kind of need to see things you need to hear other people talk about stuff to realize how much it need to be appreciated. Yeah. Just hearing the way you broke it down was like, okay, damn, man, yeah. Like, and now comparing it with this movie,
I can't believe we never talked about that.
Like.
So one MCU movie we never talked about, Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, we really don't.
I think we talked about like everyone except that one.
Yeah, like and
I like that movie.
It's a great dynamic, man. And
she was
to the point, it was so strong.
It
had so much shit in it. It spilled into Endgame, right?
It spilled into
Infinity War and Endgame.
They played a major part, man.
He was hella emotional, bro. When the family when the Guardians got snapped away, man. Like that was like a big when Rocket being on. He was like,
oh man, he ran up on Nebula in the beginning of the one. They couldn't stand each other. She's like, I saved you, and it's like she tried to kill me, but like they was holding hands and shit, like because they both lost everything.
Yeah, everything, man. She lost her sister. He lost his brother.
His sister had already died. She was dead for real. Like what Rocket said,
she couldn't even come back. Yeah, she couldn't even.
Everybody else in that moment was seeing people like Pepper got Tony back, and then Cap, and they all got them, and all of them together. They get to reunite. Them two look at each other like, yo, we lost everybody. Quill gone, Groot gone, Drax gone, chick with the antennas gone.
Chick with the antennas.
He said that shit too, didn't he? Like chick with the antennas, like.
Hey man, that's real though.
Family, man.
She was gone, man.
And their movies played such a Both of those movies played such a part in the two Infinity War. They weren't even really supposed to be big in Infinity War. Like I could imagine them not being in that.
But you got to think about it. Thanos played a huge part in their movies.
Even the movie he wasn't in, he was a big part in the second movie. He didn't even make an appearance.
Yep, because that was his daughters. You know what I mean? His daughters
Definitely was going to go get him at the end. My point is like, and then they did a great job of setting that energy up between them two, between Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy, only to shit on it in the beginning of this movie.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, damn,
I'm extra salty now again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Hey, the more we talk about this movie,
they did this wrong, man. They did do a good job. They didn't do a good job.
It was trash.
It's gonna play good on what's the name it.
It is, man. It's gonna be rewatchable trash, man. But it is trash. It is trash.
It's not gonna matter, man. This goes in the pantheon of like it's in the thing of like. Fucking even Hawkeye's gonna matter because Kate gonna play a part. Like nothing else, man. This shit don't matter, man. Like these, it don't matter, man.
Yeah, it did.
It didn't matter, and yeah, fuck. I'm sorry now.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna wrap it up.
Yeah,
man.
I'm just being silly, but all right, bro, man. We got to. I think we can still have to do another conversation about what we said. It don't matter, but like let's look at some of the points that could potentially matter. Because I don't think we got
Eternal.
Another movie. Yeah, because I don't think we got another movie, MCU movie, until Wakanda Forever, and that's like November.
We're gonna have a part 2 to this because we still got stuff we still can kind of dissect parts of
we got to do the whole like when they do the evidence and they trying to figure out how it connect to who. Yeah. We need one of those because like what's going on right now, man? There's a lot of God stuff going on. Yeah. Like, we know it's easy to say we're going to Secret Wars and like got to have all these powerful beings.
Yeah.
But where are we at right now? What does the 10 Rings have to do with the Marvel Bangles to the incursions that's going on?
Yeah, what are we going with this, man?
What does Wanda of it all? Because she's not dead. Is White Vision out there? Like, what are we doing?
We dealing with a lot of realms and you know what I mean? We dealing with like
different. We got multiverses, realms, and when you see this Marvel shit, they break the logic of the Time Variance Authority, right? They break the logic in there, like, hold on, like, okay, y'all got these rules about things. If you seen what she just did, where y'all at? somebody need
to fix this. This is gonna have to be like tuned to where this shit is like everybody on the same page. And that shit sound like Secret Wars, man.
What happens? What's the difference between multiverse versus dimension versus time traveling versus celestial energy creation?
Let's get it, man.
I think our next one is kind of like let's kind of get ready for that one because
do that one.
there's a lot of shit going on right now, bro.